Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time you're watching this. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much for joining me again on the channel, guys. Breaking news today about Michael Edwards possibly rejoining Liverpool Football Club, working for FSG as the sporting operator of Liverpool Football Club. Well, also, that breaking news, minutes after that went, Richard Hughes looks like he's going to become the sporting director. And there's news going around at the moment that Xabi Alonso have been contacted to be the next manager of Liverpool Football Club during the international break. So loads going on. It's busy time. We've got loads to chat about. Big up to everyone in chat. Hope you're all doing good. Appreciate you all being here as always. Big up to Daryl. Big up to Ali in the house as well. Man, we are back. We are cooking definitely. That top Edwards is back. Eugene and Hassan, rival fans are crying about this news. Yes, my man Lakers in the chat. Let's go. What a day, says Ali. Yeah, man, it is. Man, like Jave in the house. The future of Liverpool is looking bright. I'm excited, says James. We got Jen in the house as well. Yibba. Big up to everyone in the house. How you doing? This is brilliant news. Big up to you, my man. Hughes is a yes man. I don't know. Is he? I mean, you might know more of me about that. I'm not sure on that, but big up to you anyway. Now, obviously, all this news is breaking as we speak. You know, nothing, also at the same time, nothing is set in stone. There's no this is definitely it's not all been accepted 100% yet. It's not been positively accepted yet. So we just got to hope this works, and whatever FSG are offering him, man, whatever FSG are offering, it's definitely, it looks like he's drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Michael Edwards likes what he sees, likes the numbers he sees, and he wants to work for Liverpool Football Club again under FSG. He's going to be working for FSG, and the role he's going to be working in is the directive officer of Liverpool Football Club, which basically means he's like the COO of Liverpool Football Club, and he will be in charge of running day-to-day operations at the football club. It's massive, guys. It's huge news. It's one I've wanted. I ain't gonna lie. This is the one I've wanted. There's all different news coming out. Fenway Sports Group view Michael Edwards as the perfect candidate to put in the right structure and personnel in place to guide through the club through the transition. People were putting like Michael Edwards, director of football operations, Richard Hughes, sporting director, Xabi Alonso, manager. Now we're getting carried away with ourselves a little bit there. No one said yes to anything yet. But by the look of it, all that David Ornstein's put out today, that Paul Joyce put out yesterday, and that what Fabrizio Romano is putting out today as well, it looks like it's a foregone conclusion. Yeah, the Athletic are saying the owners always admired Michael Edwards. Now, this is the thing. We're going to get in. I don't usually like doing conspiracy theories, but we're going to do it today. This is why we're going to do it. The owners always admired Michael Edwards' ability to take the emotion out of decision-making process. And the fact he was never shy to question or challenge other senior figures, including Jurgen Klopp. So let me read this again. This has come from The Athletic today, David Ornstein's publication. The owners have always admired Michael Edwards' ability to take emotion out of the decision-making process, and the fact he was never shy to question and challenge other senior figures, including Jurgen Klopp. Now, the conspiracy theorists are going to have a field day with this. And, I'm not one of them, but I ain't going to have a field day with this anyway for content creation. This is interesting. This is interesting from a fact that, you know, Michael Edwards left Liverpool Football Club for whatever reason he left Liverpool Football Club. A lot of people think, you know, he left because, you know, his time at the club ended. He was at the club for 10 years. He wanted to do something new. He started his own business. Others think that he left because of Jurgen Klopp. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to know the real answer to it. And that's why we'll go have this discussion and we'll see what you guys think. I just think it's kind of mad that as soon as Jurgen Klopp said he was leaving Liverpool Football Club, FSG have done everything in their power to get to get the man they don't think should have left in Michael Edwards back at the football club. You know, they had Michael Edwards as sporting director, who's our best sporting director in the Premier League era, and there's no doubt about that. But now they're like, no, we don't want. They went back to him when Klopp was leaving and said, right, you can have your old job back as a sporting director. By the sounds of it, they got on the phone and went, look, Jurgen's leaving. We want you back in your sporting director role. Michael Edwards said, basically, I don't want to be a sporting director now. I want a piece of the pie. That's basically what he said. I want a piece of the pie. And if I'm going to come back, that's what I want. And they've gone all right. And by the look of it, they've offered him to basically run Liverpool Football Club. He will have the power, man. He will have the power. And, oh, man, this is... Yeah, he still lives in Liverpool, I think, Ali, because Steve McManaman lives near him or something, don't he? I think McManaman still lives in Liverpool. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I've got K-Mac in the background. Just waiting for K-Mac's video to come up because at that moment it's just white. Once this video comes up, we'll get him on. There he is. Let's get K-Mac in here as well. Big up, man.
How you doing, mate? I was just having my tea.
You just having your tea.
You said 8, so I was like, I'll have my tea.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, I didn't know this news was going to happen, so I went a bit earlier. My phone's blowing up for some reason. Mary says it's almost like FSG chose Edwards over Klopp. Lol.
Well, ooh. You know who you're talking to here.
It's a bit crazy. This news is absolutely nuts because
the timeline fits. That's all I'm
saying. If you go by the timeline, I reckon, you know, we got told it started in November, but then there's other news coming out that thinks this went back to the summer. And now, look, they've employed obviously Michael Edwards is not going to take charge of Liverpool, I don't think, till probably July 1st or something like that. It's usually the date they start their jobs at. It's going to be very interesting in the next press conference for Jurgen Klopp because there's no way these questions ain't going to come up. And the fact that I read this out, I don't know if you heard. So the Athletic put out today that the owners always admired Michael Edwards' ability to take emotion out of decision-making process, and the fact he was never shy to question and challenge other senior figures, including Jurgen Klopp. And as soon as Klopp decided he was leaving, they've tried twice to get him back. Well, it's a bit mental, K-Mac, ain't it? It's a bit. I don't know what to feel. What do you think about it, man?
It's I mean, let's be honest. It's we needed something to happen soon because you can't be finishing the season without having any direction of who your COO is, director of football, and your manager. So this did need to happen sooner rather than later. We obviously don't want it to take up all of the headlines because we're on a quadruple charge this season. But it's not a bad distraction to have, to take it away from, the players and the club at the moment, because there's a lot of pressure on everyone to to carry on the way we're going. So this is a nice little distraction, I think, which can take up the news cycle. And it looks like he's going for Ash. It looks like he's going for Richard Hughes, who was getting earmarked as a Newcastle replacement, by the way. So Newcastle might lose out on him as well. So they might lose Ashworth, and they might lose their incoming target.
Yeah, well, David Oysteen's put it here. He said Michael Edwards is close to agreeing a senior role with Fenway Sports Group, which would include former Liverpool executive taking the oversight of the club's football operations, and he would be bringing Richard Hughes with him as sporting director.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Like, I'm whatever Edwards wants to do, I'm absolutely fine with it, because the man's like got the Midas touch. like I'm fine with it, and I can coin that as well. The man's got the Midas touch.
Yeah. The thing that gets me here is the bit where FSG, like the fact that he takes emotion out of personal business, and was even brave enough to go against bigger figureheads at the football club, including the manager at the time. And that's what FSG like, because if we know anything about FSG do take all the emotion out of everything. You know, that's why people don't get on with them, really, in a way, because they do take emotion out of it. They see it as a business, and they want a business to be successful. So they don't want emotion to get in the way all the time. The problem is Liverpool's an extremely emotional team as well at the same time. And so it's very hard to take emotion out of the business side of it when you've got an very emotional team with a very emotional manager. You sort of don't work out that way. I just think it's fascinating. I just think, for me, they're getting the right man in charge. I think Michael Edwards coming into the football club. Basically, there's got to be no real remnants of FSG running Liverpool Football Club. That's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
Look, Michael Edwards is he's taking an offer to work for FSG. So, in a way, he will be on the FSG board, and he'll be in their meetings and stuff now with FSG. He's not taking the job for Liverpool; he's taking it for FSG, which I'm going to get to in a minute, because I'm going to drop a bomb. Not literally YouTube, by the way, Jesus. And don't demonetize me. Like, I just feel like he's going to be running the football club. Richard Hughes, by the sounds of it, is going to be the sporting director, and then they will choose their manager. It's just, do you think it's the right thing from FSG to do that? Get someone in, he will run the football club who knows more about the day-to-day running of the football club, that can look after the football club. We don't have to be involved so much. We can be on the outskirts of everything now, getting on with other things, and leave it to him. Do you reckon it's the right idea?
Yeah, because that's exactly how it started in the first place. They learnt their lessons through previous managers and decided, you know what, we're going to get the right people who make the right decisions and pick the right manager and director of football and so on and so forth. Because when Jurgen came in, we already had a Billy Hogan and a Michael, not a Michael Edwards, what's his name? The other guy who was taking over the CIO from.
Mike Gordon.
So many Mikes. We already had them in place, and they were making the right decisions for the club. And if you just look at the way the club's being ran, it's like it's run like a German car company.
Yeah.
Like every single piece just works in unison. It's been really, really good. The only issues we've had recently over the last couple of years is probably because Michael Edwards left, and there's been a little bit of a power struggle inside the club with different personnel. Well, that's gonna change, because everyone will be gone who was involved in that, and it'll be up to him who he picks and who he gets in. For me, and I know fans aren't going to like it, but I do feel like if we are going to go on a dynasty of a run and win title after title after title, I do think we're going to have to be a bit less emotional and more, robotic. I think that has to happen for any team to go on massive runs of dominating leagues. I think that will happen under Edwards. And there's also something else which Edwards has been offered, which I think is what you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I won't steal your thunder.
I won't steal your thunder there. My phone is completely blowing up. Hang on. Yeah, look. I've just read Fabrizio's thing as well. Big up everyone saying about Fabrizio in the chat. So Fabrizio's retweeted his old tweet with the Liverpool hashtag LFC and the soon and all that sort of thing. So it looks like it looks like it's happening. It looks like it's happening. I've seen questions in the chat about also that Epstein guy that came in for FSG to look for the new manager as well. According to reports we're reading at the moment, I don't know. It's saying we're going to have to probably wait till Monday to find out a little bit more detail. But reports that are coming out at the moment is that if Edwards takes a job by the looks of it, he's going to run the whole shebang. It's going to be up to him to, he's going to bring Richard Hughes in, and him and Richard Hughes will work on getting the manager in. Now, Richard Hughes, the manager that's at Bournemouth at the moment, Aola, that Richard Hughes brought in, is also his agent is also Xavi Alonso's agent. So I'm just throwing that out there. So the Bournemouth manager who Richard Hughes got in, his agent is also Xavi Alonso's agent. So yeah, that's
and you've heard the stuff out of Germany today as well, haven't you? About Bayern Munich.
No, I haven't. Go for it.
So Bayern Munich are targeting another manager now.
Yeah, I think Bayern Munich could look at the Brighton guy, aren't they?
Yeah, De Zerbi.
Yeah, that's it's definitely interesting. Doesn't
I think it's Xabi, by the way. I think it's Xabi, mate.
I think Xabi Alonso is the guy. I think
it is.
I know there was rumours that Edwards preferred Almiron. Sorry. I think the reason everyone was saying that he preferred Almiron is because if you go through the data, Almiron's probably the perfect guy through data. But I think the club as a whole, definitely looking at Xabi Alonso. I think David Ornstein put out something else today as well, that Liverpool go try and make their first real approach for Xabi Alonso quite soon. So and reports coming out of Germany as well that I did read is that all this Bayern Munich Alonso stuff is not. Apparently Liverpool got in touch with Alonso's agent. Alonso's agent then took it to the higher ups at Bayer Leverkusen. And apparently that has never happened yet with Bayern Munich.
Okay.
So, yeah, apparently Liverpool got
So we've done it the right way. And we haven't just leaked it in the papers like Bayern did.
Liverpool trying to do it respectfully, trying to talk like behind the scenes, and Bayern are just like, now we want Alonso in all the front pages to just disrupt their season. Yeah, it's a madness.
And we'll take off your midfield as well while we're there.
It's an absolute madness. Jamrock, let me know why you're not a fan of Richard Hughes being the sporting director. I need to know. I don't care about the sporting director stuff. I think all this sporting director stuff's a bit of a. No one knew who Michael Edwards was. No one knew who Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards worked for Liverpool in the data research department, I believe, or technical department, and then he got promoted within to sporting director. And everyone loves the guy. I don't think you have to be this massive, well-known sporting director just to get the job. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think you do. I just don't think you do. And if you look at the players that Richard Hughes has actually got in for Bournemouth, the players he's got in are pretty good players, man. You got people like Aaron Ramsdale in, the striker at Newcastle right now. He's got decent footballers in, but he's working with a budget at Bournemouth. So Bournemouth can only go for certain kind of players. They can only go for a certain kind of clientele. And, before Bournemouth got relegated, Bournemouth were doing well most seasons, for the size of their club. and they've done well this season. You know, he got the new manager in that took over at Bournemouth, who's doing really well.
Yeah, he's a good manager.
Who's, as I said, is the same agent as Xavi Alonso. So it's hard to judge a sporting director when they're at a smaller club. See, I don't particularly rate the geezer that left Newcastle and go Man United, because his job is to buy and sell players. He never sold anyone, and he knows how the FFP rules work, and he decided to ignore that, and now Newcastle can't spend, so he's part of the process. So for me, it's interesting. The sporting director thing, I think it depends what you've got at your club. That, I think, is the difference. What money you got at your club, what's your profile at your club, what players are you looking at, the power at your football club. And with Michael Edwards working alongside him, Michael Edwards will have so many contacts, as we know already. He's got to give them contacts to Richard Hughes if he becomes sporting director. So automatically, Richard Hughes is going to get this wealth of contacts from Michael Edwards, and they're going to work together. So personally, for me, I don't see it as a massive issue. K-Mac, what about yourself?
No, I don't. I don't at all, because he knows the club, like, and he knows exactly. You know, the thing about it as well is the handbrake's going to be off as well, like when he comes, and the handbrake was on for quite a while by the looks of it, because someone was blocking what he really wanted to do. So I don't see there being like radical change, but I do see there being a bit of movement in the team. Like, I do see some players going, unfortunately, like, and some of them are probably going to be our heroes. But if you want to survive FFP and be sustainable, and, you know, replenish the squad the best way, then just let him do it, because he's done it before and it's been unbelievable, and we've been at the best we've ever been, with 98 and 99 point finishes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
With him there, with the players that he's got in, and it's going to be interesting as well, because we're going to get a coach. We're not going to get a manager. You know, the next person in the door to replace Klopp is going to be a coach. He's not going to have a say on the transfers.
Yeah.
He's going to have a list. He's not going to have a say on the transfers.
Been saying that for a while. I don't think managers should. Big up Jammer. It says Southampton have a smaller budget as well and had much better talent ID. Let's not do that. Southampton are a bigger club than Bournemouth. Southampton are a much bigger club than Bournemouth, so they can get decent players. Small teams get decent players. The one thing I think we got to remember here is a lot of small teams get decent players because big teams don't want to take the gamble and get certain players through the door. So they go to your Southamptons, your Brightons, and your Bournemouths, and then they get their transfers. Like, no one really took attention. Like Richard Hughes bought Nathan Ake to Bournemouth, yeah? Man City didn't go and buy Nathan Ake straight away. He went to Bournemouth first, then they bought him. You know, John Stones went from Barnsley to Everton, and then eventually Man City decided to buy John Stones from Everton. They didn't go straight to Barnsley. You know, there's a thing where I do think bigger teams don't want to take the gamble on players they don't think is ready, so they let them go to other clubs and they buy them from them clubs. Now, should that be the way it works? Probably not. But yeah, Southampton bought good talent, man. Good talent. But Bournemouth, for the team Bournemouth are, you could argue that Bournemouth bought good talent as well that suited Eddie Howe at the time as well. You got to remember that. What you got to do, you got to buy managers. You got to buy players that suit your manager at the end of the day. You got to buy players that suit your team.
It's interesting as well, because I'm just been looking into him. He worked with Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely on Newcastle's list. He worked with Eddie Howe, and basically, you know, when I think Eddie Howe got into Europe with that team at Bournemouth, and that was all Richard Hughes's signings. Yeah. That's pretty incredible. Let's be honest. like Bournemouth. Bournemouth came from like the second division all the way up to the Premier League, and got into Europe. Like, that's incredible stuff. Like, that's kind of fairy tale stuff, if I'm honest. And
Yeah.
and a lot of the players like that were playing in that team, that's what Hughes was involved in. I haven't got a list of all the players that he signed, unfortunately. I
I know
haven't
he got
really looked
Callum
into him as
Wilson.
much.
He got Aaron Ramsdale, Callum Wilson, Nathan Ake. He bought the striker off us. That's doing bits now.
Solanke.
Yeah. We've got quite a few good players, man, for Bournemouth.
Solanke was.
Look, with the Southampton Bournemouth thing, like Jamrock saying, look, Southampton, they struggled badly, a bit like Bournemouth the last few years. So I don't think there's much in it. I really don't. And I think also, it depends how your team's worked out. No one dared take the chance on Virgil van Dijk for some reason. No one dared take the chance on Virgil van Dijk, but Southampton did. So you got to give them credit for it. But no one dared take the chance. And the thing with Southampton, they had a good youth system as well. They had a very good youth system. The likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain came through their youth system. Who else came through their system? Theo Walcott came through their youth system. Didn't Adam Lallana come through their youth system as well?
Yeah.
They had good players that came through their youth system. So, yeah, Southampton are a good club for that. And also, they probably bought players that they needed to sell and make money from. So, it's exciting. So, I don't really mind, because Richard Hughes won't be buying everyone on his own, guys. It will be with Michael Edwards. They're going to be doing everything together. He'll give him his list of contacts. With that list of contacts, Richard Hughes going to do his thing. What I do think will happen, though, with the news, as I said, we don't know if this is totally positive. It's not been accepted yet, but the way David Ornstein's talking about it tonight, it looks like it basically is done.
He was in Boston today. Michael Edwards. He's not going to. He's not going to be over in Boston if he's not signing contracts, is he?
No.
Otherwise, you wouldn't go all the way over there, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's doing something over there.
Yeah, Alex Scott. Yeah, it's
I wanted Alex Scott, and everyone thought I was talking about the ex-footballer, the ex-female footballer.
Yeah, Ramsdale was at Sheffield, but Bournemouth did. He was at Bournemouth at one time as well.
Yeah,
can't remember who else. They I think the whole sporting director thing is now big business. Like, I didn't know Tim Steedham was till he went to West Ham. And
me neither.
I didn't know who he was till he went to West Ham. Now what he's doing at West Ham, everyone wants him, so I get it. No one knew who Michael Edwards was. Nobody.
I didn't know Richard Hughes was, by the way. I didn't know Richard Hughes was until he was linked with us.
Bournemouth, exactly. I never knew Bournemouth sporting director was Richard Hughes, a former footballer. It's not just the sporting director that just has, it's the contacts from the club. And as I said, Michael Edwards, with his contacts and wealth of knowledge, will pass it on to Richard Hughes. They will work together well. Apparently, they're really good friends, and this was part of the process. If Edwards was going to become the officer there, Richard Hughes would join them. They must have been on the phone with each other all week or something, talking about this. Like, if you're going, I'm coming. They're going to make a team and work together. And let's see how it goes, man. I think Liverpool, with the idea player and all that, I think Liverpool's process and how they buy a player will stay the same through data research. It will just be the pull for data research now will probably be a bit bigger with Michael Edwards in charge, who's the king of it. He's the king of this stuff. So yeah, it could work well for us. But here's one for you guys in the chat, and I'll ask K-Mac this as well. With Michael Edwards look like he's coming back, with Richard Hughes maybe being sporting director and the possibility of Xabi Alonso becoming manager of Liverpool, is that enough for Trent, Virgil and Mo Salah to sign new deals and stay at Liverpool after Klopp leaves? That turn their head. Does Virgil look at that and think, you got Michael Edwards back, the man that bought me? Yeah, the man who run this football club. Does that go to him? Hang on. So Jurgen's leaving, who we love, but you're bringing Michael Edwards back. You're getting the sporting director, and you might be getting Xavi Alonso as manager. Yeah. What do you reckon? Everyone in chat, what do you reckon as well?
Are you waiting for the chat to blow up first? Everyone's talking about Kirkovs. You know, their left back at Bournemouth, saying he'll bring him with him. I'll tell you what, he's a Hungarian international. You just have to ask Dom. He'll be able to sort you that transfer out. They know each other well. I don't think all of them will sign new contracts.
No, who won't?
I don't think all of them will sign new contracts.
I think everyone thinks Salah's the one who won't.
Yeah.
I think Virgil's too important to Liverpool not to have.
I think Virgil's starting to realise how important he can be as captain now. Like, I think he's really taking it in his stride and he's enjoying it. He looks happier. I'll be honest. He looks like he's playing with a smile on his face, and he doesn't seem to break into a sweat anymore.
No.
Like, I've never seen a human being do as much work as he does and just not even have us. It looks like he could probably just do another 90 minutes.
He does. He never looks
superhuman, and he's insane.
He's a monster, man.
An absolute monster.
He's an absolute monster, but it's look.
It's exciting, by the way. It's really exciting. This.
We got out in the chat. I hope you're doing well,
like,
man.
If we do City this weekend and he's in the club and it's announced on Monday, I'd just be, bloody hell. Well, talk about Carlsberg did weekends.
Yeah, well, this whole week. I mean, it's been mad, isn't it? I mean, mad. I asked Cal this last night. Yeah, with Michael Edwards coming back, and we know he's ruthless. That is what Michael, he's great. Even FSG is saying the reason they like him, he doesn't put emotion in front of the reason. If someone needs to go, they need to go. He looks at it sensibly. So, with Mo Salah being 32 years of age, just having a hamstring injury, probably his first real muscle injury at the football club, but he's in his 30s now. Took a bit to recover from it. He's on 350 grand a week. Does Michael Edwards look at that and go, yeah, you ain't getting a new deal? Or does he keep him?
Oh, God. Well, did you ask Cal this, did you?
I asked Cal this as well. Okay. I'm asking the chat as well, man. I'm asking the chat.
Okay, so if you take an emotion out of it, which obviously Edwards does, he'd sell Salah, and he would get probably about 200 million for him. By the way, I'm telling you, we're not taking deals like we took for Henderson and those guys, and Fabinho. We're not, honestly. We're getting top notch for our players with Edwards. I wouldn't see anything less than 175 million for Salah.
Wow.
But I don't think he's the only guy that gets sold, though. Unfortunately, I think Robbo will go as well.
I think a few players are going to go, but some breaking news as well. So Paul Joyce has just tweeted: Liverpool owners FSG, Fenway Sports Group is hoping to confirm the return of former sporting director Michael Edwards in the coming days. So it looks like it's definitely happening.
Yeah, that's looking.
So I reckon by Monday this could all be confirmed, man. It's all. And I asked the question about Mo because we know what Michael Edwards looks at. He knows the ramifications at Liverpool Football Club. He knows the money's there, what money's there to spend, and Liverpool have to generate a lot of money themselves if they need to spend it. If he's looking at that squad right now, apart from Alisson Becker, who you cannot sell, Mo Salah's got the most commodity in him, ain't he? And with 18 months left in his deal, they might just think, just let him go. It's going to be, I'll tell you what, it's going to be so interesting. I think he looks at someone like Virgil and thinks, I can't get better than Virgil. and Virgil's too important to the football club.
It is. You kind of have to weigh it up, don't you? Like, there's not a better centre back in the world. So you're going to sell Virgil. You're going to spend all of that money on getting someone that's not Virgil. So he's just going to look at it like that, isn't he? And with Salah, yes, Salah will get a lot of money in. Can you replace Salah? It will be difficult, but with 200 million, you could certainly replace him with someone who's 70%, 80% of a Salah, but you've got other players that can step up as well. But a centre back is a centre back, and your captain is a real linchpin piece that you just can't really sell. If I'm honest, you can't sell an asset like that. And also, I think as soon as he joins the club, I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of weeks, maybe just at the end of the season, I think Trent will have signed a dotted line. He'll want to tie down another one of his biggest assets, which is Trent.
Oh, Trent, yeah, Trent ain't going nowhere.
He's a huge asset.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not looking at them as players. He's looking at them as assets for the club, because that's how he thinks.
People don't
People
like
hate it.
Though.
People hate it, but that's what they are.
But it's real. Unfortunately, that's what it is. It's real. That's exactly what they are. I don't like that term. A lot of people don't like that, and I get it. But in reality, to business people, they're assets. They're a commodity. So that's what it is. That's why it's actually very good to have someone who hasn't got that emotional thing in the boardroom, up in the higher ends of the, they got to do what's best for the football club. That's the difference. That's why he wanted Jordan Henderson gone. When Jordan Henderson 3 years ago was signing a new contract, he wanted Jordan Henderson gone because he saw that his legs were going. He weren't going to be the same player. If we give him a new deal, we're going to make no money off him. This is probably the best time to get some money off him. Get him in. I've got people lined up already. This is the thing. Michael Edwards have people lined up. This is why I would trust Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, if they're doing a job together, to sell players and buy players to replace them. That's been our issue. If we're not going to sell a player, who do we get in? What do we do? And I think someone like Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes will probably, with their know-how and knowledge, find a very good replacement on a player they got to sell. And that's the way Liverpool run. We know what we are as a football club. There's no point hiding it. And if we're going to carry on being like we are as a football club, despite the sell policy, you might as well bring the best guy back in that we've had to do that job, mightn't you? It makes perfect sense to me. I think this is all a good win for Liverpool. And look, when Klopp leaves, there's going to be a dip. We all know this. We can't be silly enough to not think there's going to be a dip. We might not title challenge next year. It might take us 12 months to get over it, but stay in the top 4 and then go for it again a year after. But with Michael Edwards coming in and running the football club, Richard Hughes being the sporting director, and if they do get Alonso in, that's about the best seamless transition from a legendary manager that's leaving the football club that I've seen in the Premier League, in my opinion. Don't know about you, K-Mac.
Yeah, no. And the thing about it as well is Michael Edwards basically made directors of football well known, because no one really knew who directors of football were and actually what they did. Like, you just didn't know that. Like, a lot of people thought that the managers signed the players. Like, that's how it works. But it all became really well known because everybody wanted to run their club like Liverpool. And Michael Edwards became a well-known figure in what he did. And now directors of football are so important all over the world to lots of clubs. Like, there's only a couple of directors of football I ever knew before Edwards, and that was like Monchi at I think it's at Villarreal. I mean, must have been at Roma. I knew about him. I knew about David. Is it David Dean that was at Arsenal working under Wenger? There really wasn't many directors of football that I actually knew about.
And the geezer with Alex Ferguson, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just wasn't that well known. And Edwards made it, like someone wrote in the chat, Edwards made it fashionable to be a director of football. Look at all the players that people are listing. Like, there was just a massive list of players that are just being listed in the chat. Like Edwards could have got us all of those players. Like, so you can just imagine the next lot of players that will all be writing about, and Edwards will be like, yeah, have you seen this guy? Yeah, have you seen that guy? And there'll be no one blocking that route anymore. And we'll also get back to the way we did things, where we signed 23 to 26-year-old players, absolute gems, ready to just hit that level and go on to great things. And that's what we're going to get with this new manager. We're not going to get 31-year-olds or 30-year-olds, and we're not going to get wonder kids who are like 16, 17, 18. That's not the way it works with him. It's not the way it works with Hughes as well. Like, so it's going to be exciting. It'll be really exciting.
Oh man, definitely. And it's like Albert says here, Liverpool moving with stealth. And this is what, like, everyone's been moaning about Liverpool taking their time. We haven't got a sporting director in. FSG are mumbling around. We ain't got a manager in yet. Blah 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 blah. Keep moaning and moaning. When are we going to learn that this football club just does everything behind the scenes? And when there's breaking news, they tell you. Like, when it just happens this way, and I don't get the issue. And the other thing, I'm amazed with this, man. I'm amazed with this, right? Most Liverpool fans I know rate what Michael Edwards did in the time he was at Liverpool Football Club as sporting director, because I remember everyone crying and moaning when Michael Edwards decided he was leaving, yeah? And all the even the rival fans are like, Liverpool has the best sporting director in Michael Edwards, yeah? But everyone was talking like that. What I don't understand right now, and this is happening, I don't know if you've seen it, K-Mac. Guys in the chat, let me know if you've seen it. People on social media, big Liverpool fans on social media and all that, and some content creators now are going, was Michael Edwards actually all that, or was it just all Jurgen Klopp? Oh. I can't believe it. I'm like, I know you love Jurgen, and Jurgen has made better players better because he's an elite manager. That's what elite managers do. They make players better. But you still got to be given the foundations to make a player better. You can't ask a carpenter to make a chair without any wood. Do you know what I mean? You've got to give them the materials, and
have you seen what Jamrock's wrote? Have you seen what? That's what
Michael Edwards did in the cult. That's it is. It's mad to me. They're all loving him. Not long ago, oh, Michael Edwards is great. Michael Edwards is great, and we ain't got no sporting director. I wish we had Michael Edwards again now. And in the last few days, when all this news about Michael Edwards broke, it's like, was Michael Edwards really that good? Because what did he do before Jurgen Klopp? Well, not a lot, because he weren't sporting director before Jurgen Klopp. I mean, what are we doing here? He was sporting director on Brendan Rodgers' last year, I believe, weren't he? That's when he became sporting director.
Yeah.
And in Brendan Rodgers' last year, who did Michael Edwards buy? Bobby Firmino.
Yeah, it was Bobby, wasn't it? Yeah, Bobby, it was Bobby, and it was Bobby, and Parry didn't have a clue what to do with why he was there. Why am I in Brazil? Why am I in Brazil signing this guy?
He bought Bobby Firmino for $29.5 million. No one knew much about him. Yeah, no one knew much about this Brazilian kid at Hoffenheim, and that was one of Michael Edwards' first thing. Yeah, with Brendan Rodgers, and Brendan didn't know what to do with him. And then, so
played him as a right wing back.
Left wing back. Playing right wing back. Some people are just so fickle, man. Edwards insisted on Salah. The other thing that annoyed Jurgen Klopp, and I think this is where the part of the rift came from, is that Jurgen Klopp desperately wanted Timo Werner. Like, he wanted Timo Werner. If you go into the rumours why Klopp's leaving, this is apparently there's two reasons: the Jude Bellingham transfer and the Timo Werner transfer. Apparently, I get the Jude Bellingham one. I don't get the Timo Werner one. But the thing about Timo Werner that peed Klopp off so much, he did all the work. He contacted Timo Werner. He chatted to Timo Werner. Remember, it all came out in the Sky and all that. They tapped him up and all that. They were talking over Skype because it was lockdown, wasn't it? And the deal was done. He went to Liverpool and the board with the deal. They were like, okay, cool. If it's all done, it's done. Then Michael Edwards and his team stepped in and went, we actually think Jota will be a better fit for Liverpool Football Club. Also, he will cost less in wages. Timo Werner, we know how much he went on for Chelsea for. Jota was on far less. And for me, they got the better player. There's no problem there whatsoever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's one of the things that annoyed Jurgen Klopp. Salah came in instead of Julian Brandt. You know, it's.
Alisson
But
came
now
in.
we're all saying, "Oh, it's all
Alisson,
Klopp's magic. It's all Klopp's."
Alisson came in
Alisson better.
instead of
Virgil van Dijk. We broke a world record for.
instead of Kevin Trapp.
It's just, I don't. Yes, Klopp made players better because that's his job. I know people don't understand this, but that's his job. Yeah, he's a manager, coaching players, and at elite level like Jurgen is his job. So he made players better. It doesn't mean Michael Edwards didn't play his part. And now people are questioning it. Was Michael Edwards actually that good, or was it all Jurgen Klopp? I was like, this is madness to me. I know everyone loves Jurgen, but you got to stop.
There's something else as well, which kind of does grind my gears. Is a lot of people are saying, "Oh, why are we begging to get him back? Like we're making ourselves look silly by doing this." No, we're doing something really, really clever by asking this guy to come back, because if we don't get him, someone else is going to get him. And guess what? They're going to have an unbelievably run club. And we're not. So get him back. We had our best times with him. We can't deny it. Like, just look at the timeline, everyone. Please look at the timeline. When we had Edwards, we were on fire. He left, we dropped. We got back on again because his Project Day started, and then he left and we dropped again. And okay, yeah, we're having a great season now. That's fine.
Oh, this is so true.
That's because all the dross left the club on free transfers, and they left too late. They left too late.
But Jamie, watch when we have a great.
They're just old. They just got old.
Yeah, exactly. That's when we have a great season next year with Shabby, and people will say, "Was Klopp that good?" Even though he built us on the month, people will think, "Oh, it's going to happen, mate." There's loads of things that are going to happen next season. Liverpool might even spend more money next summer than they ever did under Jurgen, and it's all going to kick off. It's going to be conspiracy theories left, right, and centre. I'm going to put it out there right now. Jurgen Klopp is elite and world class, and I've said it time and time again. He's Liverpool's Bill Shankly, the modern era Bill Shankly. That's what he is. Bill from the 50s, 60s, and 70s did what he did for Liverpool, and now Jurgen Klopp is doing it for us. He's our modern day Bill Shankly. That will never be forgotten. We will tell our grandkids about Jurgen Klopp. Yeah. That at the same time, though, that doesn't mean he didn't have an ego. That doesn't mean that he still did things behind the scenes that maybe the top brass didn't want. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean Jurgen, he's a human being at the end of the day. He might do things wrong on occasions. It's just mad to me. It's just mad to me. Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool at the perfect time. And when I keep arguing with all the FSG out of people all the time now on Twitter, when they go, you know, why would any manager want to come and manage Liverpool with FSG owners? My reply is always, Jurgen Klopp did. And they're like, well, yeah, well, it's only been shown since Jurgen's there how bad FSG are. It's like, was you supporting Liverpool before Klopp came to effort at Liverpool? What are we chatting about here? Why don't we actually stop with the bullshit? Yeah, right. I'm going to say this once and for all. Why don't we all stop with the BS? Let's all stop with the BS, right? Do FSG put enough money in the transfer kitty for managers? No. But are they very good behind the scenes as running a football club? The answer is yes. People might not like this, yeah? People might not like this answer, but behind the scenes, running the football club, they are better than the Glazers. They are better than the Chelsea shit. They are better than Newcastle lot right now. You know, they are arguably the second best owners in the Premier League at running the football club behind the scenes. Now, the difference is by putting money onto the transfer pitch and stuff like that. You can all have your arguments about that. I agree. But I'm talking behind the scenes stuff. And also, this is another thing that I've been irritated by people with. I got told, me and K-Matt have probably been told this, but I definitely got told this many times, that Michael Edwards left because FSG were too stingy. That's why he left. Apparently that's not true, guys, because he wants to work with them again. You know, if Michael Edwards hated FSG, If Michael Edwards, I'm going to get cancelled. I know what's going to happen.
I'm just letting you go, mate.
If Michael Edwards hated FSG as much as everyone says he is, he wouldn't have had an interview with them and flew all the way to America to have this interview. And now we're having it. Like Paul Joyce and David Ornstein basically saying in the next few days he'd probably go accept the offer to work with them again, and not just work for Liverpool. He's going to work actually with FSG. He's going to be part of the member board. So I just don't. It's madness to me. It's madness to me. I think at our club at the moment, there's this big cult at our club where you got your Klopp cult and your FSG cult. I don't stand in either cult, by the way. I'm cultless. I just support the football club. I'm just cultless, right? And I just support the football club. But everyone keeps telling me, oh, they hate him, but they keep employing him. Klopp hates them, but Klopp keeps signing contracts and been here for almost 9 years under their ownership. And all this sort of stuff. And like Klopp originally, Ancelotti turned Liverpool down because of FSG's model. And we all know this. Ancelotti turned FSG down because of FSG's model, yeah? He said it won't work for him. Guess who didn't turn them down and signed on the dotted line? Guess who then signed a contract extension as well on the dotted line? And he's leaving after almost 10 years at the football club. And now they're trying to run the football club properly by bringing people in to do the job. They're bringing Edwards back to run the football club. They're getting Richard Hughes, who Michael Edwards trusts, and they're trying to get the brand new manager in, which could be Xabi Alonso. So if Richard Hughes is sporting director, Michael Edwards is COO, and Xabi Alonso is manager, that is about as good as you're going to get as a transition when Jurgen Klopp leaves. How have they done anything wrong in that circumstance? It's balmy to me.
No, they've done everything right. And I will say something as well, because you just talked about Jurgen Klopp as the modern day Bill Shankly. Does that mean we're getting the modern day Bob Paisley to follow him on? Because you remember how many trophies he won.
Yeah, definitely.
Future is exciting for Liverpool, and I'm a Liverpool FC fan. That's what I am.
Yeah, exactly.
A Liverpool FC fan.
Look, if Klopp writes his memoirs in 20 or 30 years' time, and in that he slags FSG off because this is the reason he left, I would do a video in 20 or 30 years' time if I'm still doing this and slag FSG off. But I'm just seeing what I see with my own eyes at the moment, and I listen to what people tell me. Jurgen Klopp has said multiple times, I'm leaving because I'm shattered. It's got nothing to do with the owners. So I'm taking a grown man's word for it because that's what he's telling me. So until I hear any different from that man or any other person in the football club, I can't change my opinion on it. It's too many things, man. It's just, and FSG love Edwards. So FSG and Edwards never had the issue. Let's work this out, guys. FSG and Edwards never had the issue. Who had the issue?
Edwards has been doing work for FSG, like outside of Liverpool. Like he's been doing work with them. Like you can look at that online. Like he's always been in contact with them.
Yeah,
he was their employee.
Yeah, it definitely. Klopp, and this is what I'm saying. I'm with Sean here. Klopp knew FSG weren't perfect, but he respected them, and I'm with you on that. And
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. He respected them totally. He liked the way they worked. He liked what they did. He liked their process, and he respected what they're trying to do in football right now. And he respected that, and that's why he stayed. He didn't have to like them. No, you don't have to like your owner, your boss. You know what I mean? But respect goes there, man. Respect always. Big up my friend.
I don't really think you're supposed to.
No, you don't have to like John W. Henry and Jurgen Klopp don't have to like each other. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure they respect each other. I'm sure there's rumours that they've fallen out and had a big argument. That could happen. You argue with your bosses all the time. That happens. But I'm sure John W. Henry respects Jurgen and Jurgen respects him. But they don't have to like each other. Don't bother my day-to-day life. Is it Havard? Big up to you, my friend. What do you think about Richard Hughes? His former buys. Is this going to be good sporting director? Big up, man. Thank you for the super chat. I think that's your first super chat on the channel as well. So big up to you, my friend. I appreciate that. I think Richard Hughes would be good for Liverpool. I'm going to take what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust Michael Edwards here. This is what I'm going to say. I trust Michael Edwards because what he did for Liverpool in the years before he left, and how him and Jurgen Klopp built the new Liverpool together. So I have full trust in Michael Edwards. If Michael Edwards has full trust in Richard Hughes, then I'm cool with it. That's how I would see it. Richard Hughes, for me, brought decent players at Bournemouth to a level, and now he's playing at a much different level. He's playing at the elite level now. He's at the elite level at Liverpool Football Club. Worldwide recognition, yeah? Bournemouth, not dissing Bournemouth, but 11,000 seater stadium. The down here. Do you know what I mean? We're talking big time now. So we'll have different players to look at. So I trust Michael Edwards. So I'll have to trust Richard Hughes as well at the same time. I don't know how you see it, man.
I don't think that if Edwards isn't doing that role, we'd have even gone for Richard Hughes. Just don't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't think Richard Hughes would have come to the club.
No.
Yeah. So there's a trust.
I think he might have followed Eddie Howe, which kind of makes sense. So the fact that we're luring him away from someone who he's worked with previous really shows how well him and Michael Edwards get on as well, by the way, because he spent years working with Eddie Howe at Bournemouth. So for him to turn his back on him and go with Edwards just shows what kind of pull we've got. Like, it really does.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Cal there.
Big up Cal.
Guys, make sure he's got him for his workout. I'm hoping that workout was at the gym, Cal, and you know what I'm saying. We're going to be on the Sanderson show tomorrow night. Anyone who likes their UFC, guys, we're doing a UFC watch along tomorrow night on the Sanderson show. So go and hit the Sanderson show up on YouTube. Go and subscribe to it. Check us out 1 a.m. Sunday morning, Saturday night. It's going to be big, guys. Make sure you check us out. But big up, Cal. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate it. Yeah, the AJ. He knows. The AJ fight, I believe it's at 11 p.m. I think it's on a Friday because Saturday's Ramadan, ain't it? And I think that's why they've not got the fight on Saturday, I believe. I'm not sure. I think that's the reason it's on a Friday night. But yeah, I think the fight's at 11 p.m. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this video now, and then at 10 p.m. I'm doing my match preview for Sunday, and then that's me done for the weekend. You like your boxing? We cover boxing as well on that channel. Go and check it out. We cover everything, anything combat sport related, man. Gory said I called it Edwards and Hughes. Now we'll see Shabby as the sporting manager. I think it's got to be the two. It's got to be between Almiron now and Xabi Alonso. I think the club are just favouring Xabi Alonso. I think what Liverpool are doing is just being more respectful than Bayern Munich. I think that's all it is. Bayern are just like, we don't give a shit. We just go to straight.
I think we've definitely got irons in both fires. Like, definitely.
Definitely.
I think there's a bigger release clause on getting Almiron. I think it could be nearly 30 million, which is a lot. Yeah. He cost Sporting. I think he cost Sporting 10 million when they got him out of his other release clause. So, if you're looking at Edwards, is Edwards going to go for the guy which has got a gentleman's agreement, or is he going to go for the guy who's got a 30 million release clause?
Yeah. And look, it's I look at what Alonso's done this season. I look at what they've both done. What Ruben Almiron's done at Sporting the last few seasons is incredible. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it whatsoever. But what Alonso's done in this short time at Bayer Leverkusen is, for me, completely unheard of and different.
It is.
I ain't seen something like this in Germany since Klopp's Borussia Dortmund days. That's the last time we saw
by the way.
Yeah,
It took Klopp a couple of years. It took Xabi Alonso like months.
and I believe hasn't Alonso just broken Jurgen Klopp's record in Germany about the winning streak or something like that as well,
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
game's unbeaten or whatever it is.
And he's
It's
also broken
madness.
Pep Guardiola's record as well recently.
So this is special what he's doing. This
Yeah.
is special. As I say, only Jurgen Klopp done this in Germany, and that was almost 10 years ago now. It's madness. So yeah, I think Alonso, what he's doing is different at the moment. Yeah, you bring him in. I mean, they were 2-0 down in Europa League last night. Made sure it came back to 2-2. They'll probably go through in that game now. You know, he hasn't lost many games, so he hasn't gone through a lot of adversity. That is one thing people say about Alonso. It's been quite comfortable so far, but he just looks like the type of coach. He's one of these new young and up and coming coaches. And do you know what else I would love, guys? This is what I would absolutely love. That Alonso comes to Liverpool and Alonso's more successful than Mikel Arteta at Arsenal.
Oh, I love that.
That would be the one for me. That Alonso comes in and he's more successful than a young Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. You know, because they're roughly the same age, I think, and I think they're good friends as well, aren't they? So yeah, I think I got a feeling as well that there's rumours circulating that Fernando Torres might join in some kind of coaching capacity as well.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, so like
He's
Alonso
doing really well. He's kind of doing what Alonso did. If I'm honest, he's coaching a B team, isn't he? Yeah. I think what would be really good as well is if we do get Alonso, we get Alonso after he's won the German Bundesliga. I mean, that just keeps with our ethos of getting managers that won titles. I know that Brendan Rodgers didn't really win like a big titles, but he was, we've moved on from that now. I think we've grown as a club and we've moved on from that now. We won't be looking back at guys like that again. Dark days.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely. And big up Lakers, who's just messaging me saying as well that Edwards and Richard Hughes are only both 44 years of age, and Shabby's only 42.
Insane, isn't it?
So you think of that age range.
They're all younger than me.
Yeah, like Shabby's the same age as me. Like, I'm 42, so I'm the same age as Alonso. So
God, I'd love to be a director of football.
That them age ranges, with the way football's going in now, I think you need that younger. Yeah, I think it could be a really, really good transition from where we're going with Klopp. Look, I think there's not one person here who don't love Jurgen Klopp. There's not one person here who don't love Jurgen Klopp. So what he's doing, what he's done at his football club will never be forgotten. As I said, we will tell our grandkids about Jurgen Klopp. There's no doubt about that. But there's going to be a dip when he leaves. When Pep Guardiola leaves Man City, there will be a little bit of a dip because how good of a manager, how great Pep Guardiola is. So what you got to do as a club, you got to make sure you don't fall too far down. Man United got it wrong. Ferguson left. They got rid of the sporting director that was great with Ferguson. They got rid of all the people around there. And then they brought David Moyes in. But David Moyes had to keep Alex Ferguson. No, he got rid of everything. Yeah. He got rid of everyone. And brought
even his assistant manager and the coaches.
And David Moyes was Alex Ferguson's choice. Man United and the board did not pick David Moyes. Alex Ferguson did. Because he's so powerful. He went, I ain't leaving unless he's in charge. So they employed him and then they gave him no money. And the team was falling apart. I think they had like 4 or 5 players that are coming to the end of their actual career, not just their contracts, and leaving the football club. Well, Liverpool's not quite like that. Apart from Trent, Salah and Virgil looking for new deals, which I think 2 of the 3 probably will re-sign.
Yeah.
We've got good youth players coming through. And we've just bought a brand new midfield. We've got good forwards, good defenders, world-class goalkeeper, and we've got a great structure at the football club. So with that structure at the football club, I just think, man, it's the perfect time.
We've got
I'm excited,
we've got
man.
like 70% of the team which are new players in the last like 2 years. So they're all raring to go. Like, they've got plenty of time ahead of them. They've just won a cup. So a lot of them are now winners of trophies with us. It's just a brilliant time to be alive and to join the club. And the interesting thing as well is, and I don't know whether anyone's talking about it, is in the press conference yesterday after the game, Klopp said that he's retiring. Like, I've not heard him say that yet.
Yeah, that's what I said last
I've not
night.
heard him say retire. I mean, whether that's just a play on words, but retiring is like, hanging your boots up, like that's you, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Not like a
when did
sabbatical. It's literally, he said retiring. Sorry, go on.
I'm trying to work out when Michael Edwards became sporting director of Liverpool originally.
I actually think it was I think it might have been after Rodgers. I think they might have. I think he might have started when Klopp started, because I think we had Ian Ayres. Because I think Ian
So
Ayres was the one that did the deal for Firmino. Because I remember him being over in Brazil, and he just looked like he was lost.
because
And he also went all the way to sign Colin Palanca. Do you remember that? Remember that debacle?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, he didn't come back with him.
no. So I'm trying to work it all out. So I can't remember shit. So Michael Edwards is a former Liverpool transfer chief. He left Liverpool last summer after an 11-year spell, which initially began with him serving at the club's head of analytics. Edwards is credited with being the key figure in Liverpool's successful recruitment in years. He was replaced by Julian Ward. That was a while ago. I'm trying to work. Right, hang on. Let me just see. Liverpool sporting director Michael Edwards will leave the club at the end of the season. This is back then. Assistant sporting coach Julian Ward take over. I'd always planned to cap my time at the club at a max of 10 years, said Edward. So Edward says it here in an old interview 2 years ago. I'd always planned to cap my time at the club at a max of 10 years, said Edwards. So that was the 10 years that he was there. Now, he weren't sporting director for that whole 10 years. It doesn't actually say, unless anyone in the chat knows
So
when he actually.
Scrapes has just wrote he joined in 2011 and he became sporting director in 2016.
2016. And when did Klopp become Liverpool manager? 2016, wasn't it?
Was it 2015? Might have been 2016 actually.
Let me have a look. I can't remember when he actually became. It's
2015, October 2015. Klopp. I knew it was 2015.
So he became sporting director pretty much the same time as Jurgen Klopp became manager, yeah? Right, because there's absolute tits on Twitter right now talking about that they're hoping Edwards' signings, like, not to put a damper on things, but we hope we see Edwards we saw with Klopp rather than the Edwards we saw pre-Klopp, where there was some unbelievable dross signings.
He wasn't in charge of that.
So if he weren't in charge of that as sporting director, then like, this is the thing, like, this whole Klopp cult is mad, man. Absolutely nuts. Oh, you can see on transfer market. I'll big up Scraps. Let me go and transfer market then. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I get all my facts correct. That's all it is.
I'm just going to get a drink, okay?
Yeah, all right, man. Yeah, I just want to make sure I get all my facts correct, guys, because if I don't get my facts right, I'm going to look like a div. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, big up Goose. Yeah. Ian Air. Do you remember Ian Air? He was terrible, wasn't he? Right, let me just quickly do this, guys. I'm still here. I just want to get this correct, you know. I don't want to get all this wrong. Because I don't remember Michael Edwards being sporting director till Klopp came. I could be wrong.
Talk for a bit while you do that.
Yeah, he might have been there a year before. Yeah, going for it, man.
Okay, in the chat, who wants to name some of Ian signings? This will be
Oh,
interesting. Or some of the signings that he didn't get. I remember Colin Palanke because, like, he was a good player, by the way. He went all the way over to sign him to the Ukraine and didn't come back with him. And do you remember the Brazilian guy that we were going to sign? Does anyone remember his name? I think he was a left winger that was
it
over
Alex
in Russia.
Teixeira?
Yeah.
Alex Teixeira, wasn't it? Yeah, what happened with that transfer?
I don't, answers on a postcard.
You know, I don't know what happened. That was a mad time. That I
The
thought
Bobby
we were getting
Firmino
him.
was a mad transfer as well. To be fair, no one's seen that one coming.
What one?
Bobby Firmino. That was a mad transfer as well.
Yeah, Bobby was. Yeah,
I think it was in the middle of a tournament. I think it was in like a middle of a Brazilian tournament that he went over and got him. But that
right,
was,
I've got it all now. I've got it all. So, he became sporting director at Liverpool on November the 4th, 2016. Jurgen Klopp became manager on October the 8th, 2015. So all these people that are going online about all our transfers being shit before Klopp arrived because of Michael Edwards' poor transfer business before Jurgen Klopp arrived. No, in fact, our transfer business actually got better once Mr. Edwards was sporting director. So yeah,
someone just wrote Naby Fekir. Do you remember that one?
Oh no, man!
He had a shirt on.
Yeah, that video is in that video's in the archives, man. The Liverpool archives, where he has his video interview about joining Liverpool Football Club and what a dream it is for him and all this sort of stuff. He loves it, you know.
Madness.
And then his brother, they stopped the video because his brother came in, asked for more money, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He thought they were being cheapened out. Klopp wanted Brent and Goat, so he did. Goat, so yeah.
He nearly got them, by the way, because he tried to get them before he was director of football.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Bobby from Hoffenheim. Yeah.
Can I just ask the chat? Did Virgil van Dijk get tapped up when we had Michael Edwards, or was that before, and then we had to wait a year?
Say that again.
Can I just ask the chat that? Because when Virgil van Dijk got tapped up, and obviously we couldn't sign him for a year, was that when Edwards was in charge as director of football, and Klopp obviously did that behind his back? Or was that before? Because that'd be an interesting one. Because that would have definitely brought up some needle between the two of them. Like why are you meeting Virgil van Dijk? Why are you tapping up Virgil van Dijk? Like,
we got him in. Right, hang on. We got him in. We signed him. Yeah. We signed him in January 2018.
Oh, okay. So it would have been. Okay.
Yeah. So Michael Edwards was part of that. Yeah. Like we wanted, obviously, to buy him in 2017 in that summer, but because we got done for tapping up and Southampton went to the Premier League and complained about us, we said we won't buy him in. We'll leave it. And then by January, before January arrived, around that Christmas time, Liverpool and Southampton came to a mutual consent where we will offer you 20 million on top of the transfer value of him as an apology. That's why we paid 75 million. We were only actually meant to pay 55 million for Virgil van Dijk. That was all said and done. But because then Southampton got wind of it and told us and told the Premier League, we got told off for it. So yeah, Virgil was only meant to be a £55 transfer, but we paid 20 million on top as a sort of as an apology. Yeah, it was so Edwards is about then. Edwards is about. But all these people on Twitter right now that for some reason all of a sudden hate Michael Edwards and saying that he bought all dross before Klopp arrived and it's because of Klopp all these players were. It's not really Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards the dross that we bought with Klopp and everyone at the time was a different sporting director. It actually got better It actually got better once a certain Michael Edwards joined Liverpool. You know what I mean? It's mad how people get so wound up by all this sort of
one
stuff.
of his first signings must have been Mane then, mustn't it?
It might have been actually. No, it was. I don't know actually. Big up, Sean. I'll check that out, man. I'll check that out. Yeah, who was Michael Edwards' first signing? Does anyone in?
I should know this, by the way, but I don't. Sorry.
Does anyone know? Big up, Gory. Yeah, most people are thinking there's just a few. You know, the big people, big Twitter accounts. You know, the big FSG Twitter accounts. They're the ones that are not particularly.
But it's not Klopp's first signing. I don't think it'll be Klopp's first signing because that would have been under somebody else.
No, Klopp's first signing was the midfielder, weren't he? Grujic.
Grujic. Okay.
That was his first signing, but he didn't get to sign anyone until that summer. So he didn't buy anyone in January, I don't believe, when Klopp came in the October.
I actually don't think he was a bad signing, by the way.
No, Grujic is a decent player, man. He went on a good career. It might have been Grujic. I
think he plays for Sporting now, by the way, or Porto.
Yeah.
I actually think he plays for a decent club. Grujic.
Yeah, everyone's saying it is Mane. There you go.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's either Marco Grujic or it's Mane. I think it's one of them. It's either Marco Grujic or Mane. Well, let's put it this way. That would have been the two buys anyway. So, I mean, Mane, you know, went on to, 30-odd million. Joe Gomez wasn't it?
Really?
No, Joe Gomez was there with Brendan Rodgers, wasn't he?
He was signed with Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers played Joe Gomez left back when he was like 21 or whatever it was.
Klopp did sign Klavan. You are right. Yeah,
it was Grujic.
Klavan was signed under Klopp.
Yeah. So, look, Liverpool got. Look, there's always going to be duds, guys. No one's perfect, by the way. There's always going to be the odd dud here and there that don't make no sense. But in the majority, you know, if you look at it, Klopp came in, and then we put Michael Edwards as sporting director. We changed our whole transfer committee around that summer. You know, it was Julian Ward, Hunter. Who's the other? What's the other guy's name? Spearman.
Will Spearman.
And Michael Edwards. They were the transfer committee, and was it Ian Dennis? Is it Ian Dennis?
It's Ian.
They were the transfer committee, and then Jurgen Klopp was the manager. They went to with the names and the final say and all that sort of stuff, and that's when we sort of picked up buying all this great talent. So yeah, it was around that time. So Bobby Firmino was not a signing from Michael Edwards then, which is interesting. I always thought that was Michael Edwards signing, but it wasn't. Must have been part of E&M and all that backroom stuff.
He could have had some input on it because he was working in the analytics.
He was working in the analytics department, so he probably was scouting and looking at the data of it, Bobby Firmino, and gave it to the sporting director.
I would have thought it was probably Hunter though, because we signed a few Brazilians in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, we've had a few good Brazilians in the past. Like
Ian Graham, big up, Sean.
Ian Graham, that's it. You got him from Tottenham. You got him from Tottenham, Graham.
Yeah, so that's why I'm positive, guys. That's why I'm quite happy about all this news, because it's quite, you know, Liverpool looking like they want to do the right thing again. You know, getting the right person in, running a football club. People might not like it, but it looks like it might work, man. It looks like it might work, and it's going to be interesting. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It was James. It was the data Rodgers chose Benteke. They both signed. They signed both. That's it. Yeah, that's right. That was that argument, weren't it? I remember the transfer argument. Yeah, they didn't really want Benteke at the club because he didn't match it, but Rodgers really wanted Benteke, and the data and all that basically said, "Let's get Bobby Firmino." Yeah, I'm with you.
That's a good one there. Where is it?
Edwards signed Robbo, Gini, and Matip.
Robbo, Gini, Matip. God, a combined total of what, like 30 million for those three.
Yeah,
Incredible players.
yeah. I mean, it's just
Matip was a free transfer from Schalke.
yeah.
Like Robbo was like 6 million or 7 million, I think, from Hull.
Yeah, exactly.
Like seriously. And Ginny was from a relegated Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly.
Mental.
Big at RJ as well. And RJ's right about saying that neither are a god. And you're right, man. And that's what I want, RJ. This is what I've been saying. I just want my club to be run the most successful way they can possibly be run. And if you're getting someone like Edwards in who doesn't really have that emotion and will just do deals and get deals done and doesn't care who you are if it's best for the football club, then for me, that's perfect. You know, that's perfect. That's what we need. So I'm with you, man. Totally with you. Endo, need I say more? Bargain of the season. You know, man.
Yeah.
You know it around here. Now, if I'm in a cult, I'm in the Endo cult. That's where I am. That's the cult I'm in, man. I'm in that cult right there. If I'm in any cult, it's the Endo cult. Wataru Endo guy, my guy, man, my guy. Wataru Endo's going to show everyone against City on Sunday as well. What a player
Incredible.
he is. What a player he is. What a bit of business that was. I saw an article linking us with a pin. Oh, is that? I can't. Oh, yeah.
Belgium international. He's actually really good.
So that guy, right?
He's really good for Leipzig.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Kabak, man, my man Kabak, who's responsible for Arthur Melo. I think the club in general just messed up. Julian Ward, I think, would he have been in charge then? I can't remember.
Was that Melo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Julian Ward.
I honestly don't know. You know,
I remember. I can't bloody remember if I'm not honest with you.
I don't think it was Julian Ward.
Klopp to manage Japan. Where did that come from, Russell?
Jurgen Klinsmann's managing Japan.
Yeah, doing business.
He's not going.
Arthur Melo's class of. Arthur Melo was a good footballer. I was actually really happy. We'll go and watch my Arthur Melo video that I did when we bought him. I was actually ecstatic when we bought him because I remember him playing for Barcelona and he was quality. He's a very good midfielder when he's fit. The problem is Liverpool didn't do their own work and he came injured.
I think he's got the fourth or fifth biggest transfers in football history. That guy, which is insane. And he played about 17 minutes for us against Napoli when we were getting tonked.
It's madness, man.
Melo is the Brazilian drink water.
Big up, man.
I'll tell you what, though.
That is
Danny Drinkwater's got a Premier League medal.
Danny Drinkwater's done all right out of football, let's be honest. I know he's gone through some issues in his personal life, but he's done well through football, hasn't he?
Yeah. Can I just say something funny as well? Have you noticed there's no more 12:30 kickoffs now? Now that Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, 12. So since Liverpool, since they acknowledged that Liverpool are in a title race with Arsenal, Man City, so Sky basically said, right, we're going to show every Liverpool, City, and Arsenal game at the same time now. So literally, them three teams are going to be on every Super Sunday or Saturday night game or anything like that now. Yeah, they got rid of the 12:30 kickoffs. How amazing is that? And when we didn't have a 12:30 kickoff, they made it an evening kickoff because Liverpool weren't playing. Yeah, it's mad, ridiculous. Man. Absolutely mad. But look, this news.
You actually made a profit on Ben Davies, by the way. Sorry. Actually made a profit on him. Yeah, we doubled our money.
Yeah, that's why we bought him. That's literally why we bought him. It was just a Moneyball experiment. Melo was injured when we got him. Yeah, exactly, Frank. That's the problem there. He's actually a really good footballer, but he just couldn't. Yeah. He weren't fit, so Klopp could never give him a chance. But yeah, he's a decent footballer, man. Yeah, we flipped Davis 4 months later. Yeah, you know them people that do up houses. They buy a house really cheap. They do it up and they flip it, don't they? Yeah. That's basically what we did with Ben Davis.
That's also what we'll do when we get him back. By the way, We'll do that with loads of players. We'll start
Yeah.
we'll start flipping our academy by making us loads of money. I hope we get a good set piece coach in, and also a good loan coach. A good loan manager, because we've got so much potential in that academy to get good loans done, and also like Virgil and Canate could be getting 10 goals a season easy just from headers if we get some good set piece coaches in.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Mental. We could just win games on set pieces. Like seriously, they're that good.
Yeah, definitely. Right, guys, you beautiful people. Oh, got another super chat. Shamak summer signings have been all wins, no lie. Facts.
100%.
DJ Brains.
100%.
Facts. McAllister, Sabozalai. I think McAllister's all sort of done. Endo. Graham Birch is a work in progress, but I think, I personally think there's a player there. It may be under new management next year. It'd be a different player for me. But yeah, there's definitely, and if we don't, we make money on him if we sold him, in my opinion. So, it works out. Yeah, Jorg Schmadtke was a sporting director that saw over Liverpool's midfield rebuild. He got rid of Henderson. He got rid of Fabinho. Maybe we got to give Big George a bit of, McAllister was the Julian Ward signing, so we've got to sort of take that out of it. But maybe we've got
there.
Yeah,
we've got to give him a bit of credit.
Maybe George just signed the paperwork, but McAllister, you know what I mean? But I think he did all the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Julian Ward basically did the McAllister thing. But yeah, maybe we've got to give Big George a bit of praise here, man. He got rid of the dross, helped rebuild the midfield.
He had to get rid of all of that, which is probably not an easy job, to be fair.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Good
There's
on him.
a lot to do, man.
Good on him.
Big Albert
moved on loads.
I didn't see Albert's super chat there. Sorry, Albert. I shout out
Big
now.
up, Albert.
Do you guys think the subject of bringing Edwards back was the trigger that made Klopp leave? Could it be that FSG do not want an all-powerful manager again? Wow. I don't know.
Albert, going full throttle there, buddy.
Because it sort of does look like that.
I will say yes.
Liverpool, it does look like Liverpool have done more to get our old sporting director and Michael Edwards back than they have to try and keep Jurgen Klopp. It does seem that way, and that's what people go to say. That's what people go to say. Like FSG fought to get Michael Edwards back, but why didn't they fight to keep Jurgen Klopp? That is what people go to say. Now, I'm not going to go into that realm of weirdness, but I can see people go and make that conclusion there. You can say people go meet, but I don't think that's the case. I literally don't think FSG decided to go for Michael Edwards till Klopp told him in November that he was going to leave. I think that's when they made their call to get Michael Edwards back, in my opinion. Yeah, I personally, I don't know about you guys. That's my, the rumours is they offered Klopp a blank check as well. These are the rumours.
Yeah.
Mike Gordon apparently said, Klopp, don't leave. Here's a blank check. Sign whatever you want. They offered Jurgen Klopp to be the most well-paid manager in world football, beating Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid. That is what they were offering Jurgen Klopp, not for him to go. And he didn't want to go. So, yeah, people will go run with this conspiracy theory that FSG have done more to get Edwards back than keep Klopp, but that ain't the truth. They offered Klopp a blank check. You sign what you want to stay, and he didn't want to do it, man. So
Does
yeah.
he have to give the keys to the city back if he leaves?
No, man, you get that forever, don't you? That's
you get that
forever, man.
Okay.
That's
Good on
forever.
him. He'll get a statue as well. He'll get a statue as well.
Klopp just wants to leave. Klopp's going to leave. Is there more in it than just being burnt out? Maybe. But again, we ain't going to know until someone tells us, you know what I mean? Unless Klopp himself turns around at the end of it. I mean, what's Klopp got to hide as well? He's leaving. It's not like FSG go sack him right now, is it? He could be like, I can't work under this ownership right now. I'm going to do my best till the end of the season. But unfortunately, myself and the ownership, we're not thinking the same anymore. I've had a beautiful time here. This is the greatest club in the world. But they will find someone else to come in and carry on the great work. But it's just not working out for us anymore. Could have easily said something like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't. So,
we'll
have to wait, man.
Guys, all you got to think about is Shankly's leaving. Who came after Shankly? Paisley.
Yeah.
How many trophies did Paisley win?
Life continues, man. Life continues.
He won more than Shankly.
Life continues, man.
It goes on.
It does. Its statue needs to be a hug. It does, like that, with his arms like that, and then you can go inside the statue.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
So that's how they should build the Klopp statue, like it's hugging, and then you can go into the statue and get like a hug from Jurgen Klopp. That's how it should be. Yeah. Right. If Liverpool don't take Josh's idea, you're all silly. Do that. That should be the statue.
I am not touching that statue with a barge pole. The amount of DNA on that.
Yeah. There's gotta be some. Yeah. There's gotta be some splatter.
I'm gonna wear a hazmat suit when I do that.
There might be a bit of splatter, shall we say?
Yeah. Big up the chat.
That's very true, man. That's very true. Douglas says 13 years of Moneyball BS. Never ever trust MSFG out forever. Fair enough, man. I'm not going to argue with people if they want to.
Scallywag, have you seen that?
Yeah. Charge 300 quid for a Why not, man? What, people pay it? Can you imagine people paying it? I would, yeah.
I tell you what, if we had a competition for the best chat of the night, that was it.
Yeah. Oh man, what a great night, guys! I'll be back at 10 o'clock for the match preview. I'll see you all then, guys. You're going to be redirected to Gal's stream now. Gal's live right now. I want everyone to go and raid the Gal stream. Everyone go on the Gal stream and say Jamie's number one. I want everyone to do that, yeah. So when this stream ends, everyone stay there. You go straight to a Gal show. Everyone raid it and say Jamie's number one. Yeah, Jamie's number one. I want everyone to do it. Off you go. Bye bye.